Hey Jacko, so you want to make a timer with milliseconds? If that's the case, this video is for you. In one of my previous videos, when I displayed the time, I used a simple time code. And I said that the last number displays the milliseconds, which is not the case. This displays the frame. As you can see, it has 49 frames max. It goes from 0 to 49, so 50 images in 1 second. So how can we display milliseconds? I'll show you. Now let's get digital. First, let's get some basics out of the way. We need to display the current frame, which you can see here and displayed here, and for this we use time. We'll also need the information about the last frame, which is this one, and this is the code for it. And lastly, we'll want to know what the FPS of the project is. Because I'll focus on the milliseconds, I suggest you watch my previous video on how to make custom timers. So we'll need to make a text node, go into the text field, right click on it, and select expression. The easiest way to display time is to use the operating system date function, which you can also display hours, minutes, and seconds, but you can display milliseconds. So in this case, we go from the last frame minus the current frame and divide that by 24 frames, which is what my project is, at 24 frames. And if I display that, it doesn't show up. Nice. I guarantee you that this expression works, but nothing is displayed. Since I'm using the DaVinci Resolve 17 beta, it's, well, a beta. And that means that most of the time, something just doesn't work. I mean, it does at the back, but it just doesn't refresh. As you can see, it doesn't show up. And now when it hit it, it won't show up again. So once we have this piece of code, we'll just stitch in a little bit of something. We'll want to use 2 dots, 1 quotation mark, put a delimiter here. You can use whatever you want. Usually when it comes to time, you have a semicolon, closing quotation mark, and another 2 dots. This will stitch this expression and the second one here. And for the second one, we'll use this piece of code. So we use string format, which is a text. We use 0, 3. You could also use 3, but if you only have 1 millisecond, you would have 2 spaces before that one. I can't really show it because it's not updating. This is what we'll want to do. We'll want to use D. D means you will be displaying whole numbers. Compare parent is the last frame minus the current time. This is the modulo operation, which will take the difference that is remaining, which is this, and divide it by 24. Anything that remains will get multiplied by 1000. I'm using 1000 here because we want the milliseconds, and 1 second is 1000 milliseconds. If you wanted to just display 2 digits, you would multiply here with 100. And then we'll divide by 24. And the 24 in this case is the frame rate of the project that I have. Now that's all nice, but some of the clips don't have 24 frames. Or maybe your project is not at 24 frames. What then? So what we need is a way to get the FPS dynamically. So if I have 24 frames per second and another clip is 50, 60, 120, we don't want to change those manually. Now we can guess that that code is for FPS, but if we take a look at the original clip, we can see that the clip frame rate is 50, which is the actual frame rate of the clip. But if we convert that clip to the Fusion clip or the compound clip, we can see that the frame rate is 24. Just based on that, I would apply the timers in the Fusion or the compound clips. And we also have some trade-offs. If you did the timer in the original clip, like this one, and then convert it, you will have this baked in the clip. And while you can remove this in the compound clip, if you decompose it in place, go back into the Fusion and remove it and make another compound clip out of that, you can do that with the Fusion clip. And if you take a closer look, you can also see that the times are twice as big, because this is 24 frames and the original was at 50. So that is also something to consider. Okay, so now we have the expression and we know how to get the FPS dynamically. But how do we combine this? It's simple. We'll make a variable and use it in an expression. So we use this expression. We put semicolon at the beginning. We name our variable any way we like. Usually that's an X, but I'll just call it dog for now. Hit equals, and at the end you have to go semicolon, and then you have to return it and say I want to return the dog, which the value of the dog is this expression. What's cool about this is that you don't have to actually connect this text node to anything. So you can just disconnect it, display it like you usually would, and it works. Now if I make a new text node, hit the expression, go here and say maybe dog +1 and display it, it will display 25. So it knows that the dog value is 24. So how can we use this to our advantage? So instead this expression, which has the hard-coded value, I'll use this one. So I'll type dog, anywhere I see 24. Now as you can see, it changed. We have 3 decimals. And like I said, you can change this symbol to anything you want, even text, so like that. So you could do it like that, or you can do it in one line by using this piece of code. And that's how I can make the millisecond display in DaVinci Resolve. If you support me, you can find today's file and other tutorial files in my Buy Me a Coffee page. Did you like the video? Would you like to see more DaVinci Resolve content? Subscribe to my channel. I'm Simon, and until next time, Jackals, keep it digital.